fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I am really excited for today's video because I've been wanting to do it for a while and it's something I'm pretty passionate about. So today we're going to be talking about duochrome highlighter palettes and which one might be the best for you if you are in the market looking for one or for more. So these are just all the ones that I personally own, but if you have any that you feel like I would love or that I should be talking about, definitely feel free to leave them down below and I'll look into them. But I just wanted to talk about the different prices and finishes and formulas and duochrome, not duochrome, just the different shifts that you can find in the different palettes and which one might work for you, because I feel like duochromes are so beautiful. For one, as a actual highlighter on your cheekbones. I feel like a lot of people don't like using them on their cheekbones because they can be super intense, and like especially if they have a really good color to them, it's very strong. But I think that duochrome highlighters make the most beautiful inner corner highlighter shades. They are stunning. 99.9% of the time I'm wearing a duochrome highlighter as my inner corner shade. So if you have some in your collection already, or you want to pick up one and you're like, I'm not sure if I would use every shade on my face, I definitely recommend, if you haven't already, please use your duochrome highlighters in your inner corner. If you love an intense inner corner highlighter, it will change your life. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different palettes to talk about today. I do have a lot of like single duochrome highlighters from like Wet n Wild. I have some from Ofra, some from Ulta, different ones like that. So if you guys would like to see like a video on my singles, definitely let me know. But today we're going to be talking about palettes because I love palettes. So the very first one I have to mention is from Laura Geller. And this one is definitely on the pricier side. I was lucky enough to get it on sale. So this is the Life Glows On palette, which I love the name. I think it's so punny. And it has beautiful packaging. It is so duochrome-y. I don't know if you guys yeah, it has like this extreme green duochrome. It looks so cool in person. So I really love the packaging, but the shades in here are very tiny. I will say that it is, like I said, the more expensive, less product, but it is a little bit more accessible because you can buy this at Ulta. So there are 3 shades in here. The first one is Opal Crush, and this is like an amethyst, like purple, like a white purple with a little bit of pink duochrome. And then there is French Fizz, which this one is not really a duochrome. This one's just like a regular, really intense gold highlighter. Here, let me show you Opal Crush. It's just like a soft, like light purple. And then the last one is also available as a single. This is Diamond Dust, and it's like a whitish green with like a pink shift to it. So there are the shades in the Life Glows On palette, and I think this would be good for someone who already likes the Laura Geller formula, or who wants to try it out, or who would like to have like the Diamond Dust but you don't want to have a full size. I think this is a great deal to get all 3 together if that's something you're interested in. But as far as duochrome highlighter shades go, I feel like these are not my favorite. They're definitely more on the like soft side, which might work for you if you like a soft highlighter. They're just like a little bit of a light shift. They have a little bit of color to them, nothing crazy like some other palettes I'm going to show you. So I like this one. I'm glad I got it on sale. The next one I'm going to mention is the See Me From Space Drenched Highlighter Palette from Luxe Beauty, and I think this one is really beautiful. This one's super cool. So here's what the inside looks like, and this one kind of has a mixture. I don't know if I would call them all duochromes, but they definitely have some really fun shades in here. So this one right here is one of my favorites. It's Heliocentric. This is not a duochrome. It's just like a light peach shade, which is what I have on. And then there's Celestial here, which this is like a light purple shade. Then you've got Supernova here, which is a gold. I don't use that one on my face because I'm too fair for it. You have Flare here, which I don't use on my face because I'm too fair for it. And this one is just a pretty purple plummy shade with gold flecks of glitter in it. Then this one is a really beautiful shifty green. It's called Extraterrestrial, and this one actually you're supposed to be able to see in the dark. I personally cannot see it in the dark no matter how much I put on. And I have to mention that this one is not considered eye safe, which I think is definitely a downside of the palette because it is such a beautiful shade. I would rather have it eye safe and not have to use it in the dark. Does that make sense? Well, I mean, you can use it in the light, but I would rather be able to use it on your face and your eyes than be able to see it in the dark, which it doesn't even work for me. So moving on, the last shade in here is definitely more of a duochrome, and this is like really pretty. You can see there's like blue in the pan and pink, and it's kind of like a light cotton candy dream, and it has like glitter in it. Let me just show you what that one looks like. It has like a whitey purple shift to it, and I really do like Luxe Beauty highlighters. I'm gonna just show you a few real quick. They have a lot more of like I don't know if you can tell, it looks kind of chunky. They have a thicker texture, so they look very, very intense on the face. There's those ones. Isn't that purple just so beautiful? It's like a purpley pink shift to it. So I think these are all stunning, and like I said, they're a little bit thicker. I feel like they look really, really nice when they're blended into the skin. They give a super, super glowy effect. And I think that there are some really, really cool shades in here. It's just the one thing to keep in mind is this green. You can't use it on your eyes, unfortunately. This palette, I believe it retails for $40 or $42. I do have an affiliate code, so you can save a little bit of money off your purchase of this one in particular. So it's definitely a little bit more on the higher end side, but it is a indie brand, and Luxe Beauty has a lot of beautiful highlighters. And if you're not interested in this whole palette, they do have a bunch of singles you could try from, but it is definitely a better value to get a palette from them. They actually have another highlighter palette which I want to try and buy, but I'm holding off because I know I don't really need it, but maybe I'll get it eventually because I really do like this one. So the next one I have to mention, actually maybe I'll just mention these together and I'll talk about them separately, but these are my babies, and I never expected to fall in love with these the way that I did. So these are the Anastasia Glow Kits, and I literally thought these were the stupidest thing ever. Whenever they came out, I was like, who would wear that? It's so stupid. The colors are ugly, especially Aurora. I hated the way Aurora looked. I was just blown away by the fact that anyone wanted to buy these. But I slowly saw reviews coming, and it looked like people liked them. They looked beautiful, and I swatched them in store, and I thought that they were absolutely amazing in store. So Ulta had a deal. It was like, I think they were $24 each or something for Black Friday last year. And then I believe I redeemed some of my Ulta points, and I ended up paying like $30 for both of these. And it's honestly one of the best makeup purchases I've ever made. I feel like everyone is kind of over these. Like, you see them in TJ Maxx or you see them here and there, and I just want to say, like, they are 100% worth your money if you like duochromes and if you like cool inner corner colors. If I had to choose between the Moonchild and the Aurora, I would 100% go with Aurora, actually, which is just funny because, like I said, I really hated the way this one looked. So here's what my Aurora looks like. You can see that I accidentally broke it and had to press it. And the sad thing with Anastasia palettes is something about the dye. Whenever you use alcohol to fix things, it like messes up the palette, which just makes my heart sad. But these are so beautiful. I can actually use almost all of these on my face. The only one I'm not a fan of the blue on my face, and I'm not a fan of this purple on my face, which looks pretty gold because the other shadow got into it, my bad. But all of these other shades right here, I do use on my face, and they work fine for fair skin. Like, specifically the shade Eclipse is such a beautiful peachy shade. I love Eclipse with all my heart. I think it is so beautiful. Here, let me just, I also love Hella, which is just like, it's like a green gold shift. Here, I'll show you Orion, the blue. There's Orion, and then we'll do Luna, which is like the white icy shade, which has like a really cool tone to it. Oh my gosh, Hella is just the most beautiful green gold. So I seriously adore the Aurora Glow Kit. Like, they're just stunning on the cheeks. They are so beautiful. I feel like they don't come off super like even the green, if I put it on my cheeks, it's not like bam green like some others, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Or like the blue. Like, I don't really like blue because I feel like it looks ashy on the cheeks as a highlighter, but at least on my skin tone. But I feel like these just look so beautiful. I can't rave enough about the Aurora. I feel like the colors in here are so interesting. And then the next one is the Moonchild, and this one you can probably tell looks less used, although I have used it a bunch. This one I think is even more duochrome-y. This one shifts more. Like there's a shade called Blue Ice, which shifts from like a white to a blue. Lucky Clover, which is a pale green. Ugh. I just live for green shades. There's Pink Heart, which is like a white to a pink shift. And then you've got the different purple shades. Again, this palette, I kind of don't use those ones on the face, but these ones, I use all these ones on the face. But then the purples I use on my inner corner. They're just so soft and beautiful, and just, I really, really like these ones. But again, same formula. They're not like, they don't look like bam, green on the face, bam, pink on the face. It's just a shift, and it's very light, and it's there, but it's not in your face, which I can kind of go back and forth. Some days I just want it to be subtle, and then other days I want it to be like, yes, I have green cheekbones. All right, so for a very, 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 very intense duochrome highlighter, I would recommend the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dream palette. I love the packaging on this one as well. And I believe this is still being sold full price, $40 or something like that. And I like this palette a lot. So here's what it looks like. I feel like I gotta sneeze. I feel like I almost never hear people talking about this palette, and I think it's because these shades have glitter in them. So if you are not a fan of glitter on your cheekbones, I wouldn't recommend this palette, but I personally don't mind. I think it looks really, really beautiful. I say YOLO, like for real. I don't really care about YOLO when it comes to anything else that's stupid, like doing drugs or I don't know, stupid things when people say YOLO, but seriously, YOLO, you only have one life, may as well have glittery cheekbones. So first of all, I just want to say that if you have fair skin, this is the palette that I would recommend the absolute most if you want a duochrome palette that you can wear every single shade on your cheekbones, because I can get away with every single one of these. They all look fine, none of them look ashy, none of them look too bronzy. Even this shade right here called Regal, I thought this wasn't going to work for me because it's a deeper copper, and it still does. So that's something I personally really like about this palette. I think this one took me by surprise because none of the shades in the pan look like what they look like on the cheeks. Like this one right here is called Magic. It looks like a green, but it is an extreme like pink shift. And it makes me sad because you guys won't be able to tell on camera. You might be able to see the green background, but when the light hits it, it turns like bam, pink. Even this yellow one right here is not a super yellow highlighter. It looks kind of yellow, but it has a pink reflect. Almost every single shade in this palette has a pink reflect to it. There's Ethereal here, which is like a really beautiful purple. And these ones are definitely more intense than the Moonchild and Aurora. They are like metallic, glittery goodness. You can see how beautiful the shift is there. I actually do have a full face swatch video on this one and a few others that I'm talking about, so I'll make sure to leave those in the description box in case you want to see what every single shade looks like on the cheekbones. Although it kind of makes me sad with duochromes because my camera does not pick them up the way that they look in real life, and that just frustrates me because like in real life, like especially the one shade here called Unicorn, it looks like a light pink, but this has the most intense pinky purple duochrome. Like it just looks like bam, purple on your cheeks. And on camera, it just looks like a glow. Like it doesn't show up in the way it does in real life. So I really, really like this one. I think I would recommend it going in store and swatching it to see what the colors really look like. Because like I said, the way they look in the pan, the way they look on the cheeks, completely 100% different. But I do really like this, and I think it's beautiful. I think that they're all beautiful eyeshadow shades as well. So yeah, I would specifically recommend this if you have fair skin. If you like glittery highlighters, you like super intense highlighters, this is the one I would go for. And that packaging is so intense. Alright, so the last two I have to mention are both pretty affordable options. So the first one is the Blacklight Highlight Palette from ABH Cosmetics. And this one was such a pleasant surprise for me because this was my very first duochrome highlighting palette. So I think this one retails for like $12 or $16. You can get it on sale. I've seen them do it as a free gift with purchase in the past. And here is what it looks like. These are very intense on the cheeks. Again, like they give like a super, super colorful glow. There's an icy white shade, which I'm not in love with, a yellow shade, a greenish shade, a really pretty pink, a pink with a purple undertone, and then a bright blue. And these are all beautiful. I can't use every single one on my cheekbones because I feel like some of them like have too much pigment to them for the most part. The one thing I have to say about these is that they are definitely on the powdery side. I've seen people not like the BH Cosmetics highlighters, and I get it, they're powdery, but I feel like they're still so metallic and beautiful, and they just look so intense that I love them, and I feel like they're such an amazing affordable option, especially like if you just want duochromes for your inner corners. Like if you get this palette, it will last you forever, and sometimes I go back and forth and I mix the shades. So here, just show you guys some swatches. Like this one is Queen, super intense blue. Here's Illusion. You guys already, I don't know why I keep doing this because I know I'm gonna edit my video and be like, oh, you can't even see. And then here, we'll do the white shade just to show you. This is Strobe. So there's some of the shades from the palette. So hopefully you guys can see that they are kind of intense, but they just have a powdery texture to them. So for me, I really do enjoy this one. I would personally recommend it if you're looking for a bunch of different colors and you like a super intense highlighter. But there is another option from BH Cosmetics. This is their new Duolight highlighting palette. I say new loosely. I think it's a few months old now, but I feel like I never hear anyone talking about this one, and I think it's so beautiful. So first of all, it has that packaging, which I love. It has a gigantic mirror. I really like the way this one feels, and the packaging, I think it just looks nicer than the original Blacklight palette. So here is what the inside looks like. You have 3 full-size pans and then 3 different ones that are split pans. So I think, okay, I don't like one shade in here, and it's this one. This white shade is crap. It's like chunky and powdery and not intense, and I just don't think this one looks beautiful on the cheekbones at all. But all of the other shades I think are really beautiful. I think this is one of those palettes where you could definitely this kind of happens with duochromes sometimes. If you just go in with a random shade and you don't swatch it first, you don't know what you're expecting. Like for example, if you go in with this pink shade, it has an extreme like greeny gold undertone. So if you just throw it on your cheeks, you might be like, oh my gosh, like where did that green come from? Because in the pan it just looks pink. This one has an extreme purpley undertone, and this one looks, I actually really like the way this one looks. If you like blend it backwards and use it kind of as a blush and a highlighter, I think it is such a pretty shade. And then like the golds have a little bit more I don't even know what was the undertone of the golds. They're just like really yellowy. This gold is yellowy, and then this is like a true bronze, and then this gold is like a super peachy shade. Yeah, that gold is so pretty. It reminds me of the Natasha Denona one in the blush diamond and blush palette or something like that. And then this pink one right here is like a pink with a super gold undertone. So these ones are kind of switched. Gold with a pink undertone and then pink with a gold undertone, so you can kind of get a bunch out of this palette. So many different like really cool shades, and these are super metallic. Hopefully you guys can see that. Like these are intense. I just don't understand why more people don't talk about this palette, because I think like it is just so beautiful. But this one right here is so cool. This is like, it's kind of like, gosh, okay, I don't even know how to describe it. It looks like it has like kind of like a purpley background, but then the shift of it is super green. It's just such a pretty unique shift. It's crazy. So I think as far as being affordable, not being glittery, being really duochrome, really intense, this is the one that I would recommend. I think it is such a nice palette, and like I said, when I tried this I was just blown away. I've done full highlighter face swatch video using this, so you can see every single shade, all 9 shades on my cheekbones, in case you're curious. So I think this is absolutely stunning, one of my favorites, and I would highly recommend that one. So those are all my duochrome highlighter palettes. I hope this video was helpful in some sort of way. I just thought I would go through my collection, kind of give reviews of all of them, and say, like, I don't like to say like this is the best or this is the best, because I feel like everyone wants different things. So it's just good to go through and give many reviews on everything, because it's like, if you want affordable and you want intense, you might like this. If you want glittery, you might want this. If you want something like a nice little high-end treat yourself thing, but you don't want it to be super intense. You might like this. So, you know, if you want to support an indie brand, you would probably like the Love Luxe Beauty one. So I just feel like, I don't know why I'm rambling on. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. That's all I'm trying to say. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below. And like I said in the beginning, if you have any palettes, highlighter palettes that you're like, you are missing out on a great love of your life from not owning this palette, definitely let me know down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.